Chassidic gems on Hagada Shel Pesach. I have in front of me an out-of-print Hagada called Yena Shel Torah, and we'd like to say over some Chassidic gems on the Hagada Shel Pesach. Before Manishtana, it says in the Haggadahs, V'kan haben Shel. Here the son asks Manishtana. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah Charav HaKodesh Rabbi Osher Mistolen says, Kan, here, right now, at the Seder is so holy, and it's such an Eis Rotzain, it's such a time to get through to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that here, Haben Shoel, one can ask for whatever he wants, whatever he needs. Hashem will answer him. Kan Haben Shoel. He could ask from Avinu Shebashamayim whatever he needs. We should be zeicha to utilize this precious moment. Then Hashem should help us. The Haggadah continues, V'chol hamar b'lesape b'yetzias Mitzrayim harei ze mishubach. Whoever increases speaking about going out of Mitzrayim, Hashem's performing for us all the incredible miracles. So whoever in mar b'lesape, he very much tells over to his family, Yetzias Mitzrayim, Harei Ze Mishubach. It's better. It's better. The more you speak about Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, which, by the way, is a mitzvah of the Torah on this night of the Seder, it's better. Harei Ze Mishubach. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are telling us that Harei Ze Mishubach, you think it means it means it's better. It's better to speak a lot about Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. Harei Ze, the person comes out to be improved. This person who does it will start to say the being whatever he is, and he'll come out greatly improved in Ruchnius. In Ruchnius, he will come out, Harei Ze Mishubach, he'll become a better spiritual person. We should be zeicha to this. Amen. So the Haggadah continues, Baruch HaMokim Baruch Hu. Blessed is Hashem, blessed is He. Baruch Shenosan Torah Li'Am Yisrael Baruch Hu. Blessed is Hashem who gave the Torah to His people Israel. Blessed is He. Keneged Arbo Abonim Dibra Torah. Corresponding to 4 different types of sons is the Torah speaking. Echad Chocham, Vechad Rosha. One is a wise person, and one is a wicked person. One is a simple person. Vechad Sheni Yedei Elisha. One does not know how to ask anything. And the question is, what is the relationship between blessed is Hashem, blessed is He, and immediately afterwards it says, corresponding to 4 different types of sons is the Torah speaking. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah want to know what is the relationship between the two. Blessed is Hashem who gave the Torah, and the Torah was given corresponding to 4 different sons. What's the relationship? Why are they placed one next to the other? Comes along the Chassidic Torah Charav HaKodesh Reb Avram Mordechai Migur, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha, and he says, the relationship between the psukim is never give up hope, even on a Rasha. Even on a wicked person, don't give up hope. because the Torah, Baruch Shenasan Torah Lami Yisrael Baruch Hu, the Torah can, the Koyach HaTorah, the Torah can correct every type of person that there is. Even the wicked son can elevate himself by through the power of Torah. The Torah can help everybody, and that's the relationship. The Hagada continues. So our hope is that we can be Makarev people. Through Torah, we can be Makarev. We should never think that this person who we're thinking of being Makarev is beyond help. We should never think like that, because the Torah can reach every sug, every type of son, whether he's a Chacham, whether he's a Rasha. The Torah can help him change and be a different human being. The Haggadah continues. Chacham mahu omer. What does the Chacham say? What does the wise person say? Etc. etc. The Haggadah brings down what he asks. What he asks, and also the Rasha mahu omer. What does he say? He says moha avoda azos lochem. What's it all? That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are telling us that according to a person's speech, you can tell what's going on within him. Chacham mahu. Harav HaKodesh Shabiborach mi meshbrish. Chacham mahu. If you want to know whether the person is wise, you can tell Omer by what he says. Chacham mahu. If you want to know the Chacham, if you want to be able to recognize whether a person is a Chacham, a wise person or not, how can you recognize it? Omer, by what he says. When a person speaks wise things, you can see, you can recognize who he is. The speech of the man tells us what kind of a makeup this person has within him. Similarly, the Rasha. You want to know if he's wicked or not? Rasha mahu. If you want to know this wicked person, what he is, you know how you could tell? Omer, by what he says. Listen carefully what he says, and you could see who he really is. So we have to be careful to watch our speech and speak to speak the proper way, and therefore we will be able to. People will be able to see us within us what we really are. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Haggadah Shel Pesach. So it says in the Torah, the mitzvah of Sipur Yitzias Mitzrayim, which is a mitzvah of the Torah, as we mentioned before. This night of Pesach, it's a mitzvah to speak about Sipur Yitzias Mitzrayim, to tell our family, tell anybody we know about all the nisim and neflois that Hashem did for us. So the pasuk that says that is Hagada levincha bayomahu leimar. That's the simple. The Chassidic Terlach Harav HaKodesh the Avnei Nezer tells us that the word V'higadeto, because the word V'higadeto, the Targum translates on the pasuk lahagid, which is the same word as V'higadeto. The Targum translates V'higadeto is like the word v'sechvi. sechavi, which means to show. Hagada means simple. The simple meaning is to tell the Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. But according to the Targum, it seems you got to show your children the Nisim and the Flois, which means don't say the Haggadah like a dead duck, just read the words without any emotion. You have to say the Haggadah with his slavus and his rakshas, with enthusiasm, with feeling, that the people by your Seder, it should to make them as if they see in front of their very eyes all the miracles, the incredible miracles that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did for Klal Yisrael. That would be, the Haggadah would have a double meaning. The simple meaning would be to say, to relate, to tell, and the Chassidic Torah interpret according to the Targum that it means to show. You got to show it with emotionalism and feeling, that they should feel that they're sitting by the Seder, but they're really viewing the entire Yetzias Mitzrayim and all the incredible miracles HaKadosh Baruch Hu did for us. Continuing with Chassidic gems, it says in the Posik, Ulaman tesaper ba'oznei bincha uven vincha, you should tell over to your children, a Posik in the Torah, in Shmais, you should tell over to your children in the ears of your son and your children and your grandchildren. When you tell it over to them, v'idatem, you will know ki ani Hashem, that I am Hashem. That's the simple. When you tell it over, you will know ki ani Hashem. But the question is, it should have said, when you tell it over to your children, v'yeda'u ki ani Hashem, they will then know that I am Hashem. Why does it say you should relate and tell it over to your children, and then you're going to first know? Then you're going to know, v'idatem. It should have said v'yedu, that they will know. No, we're talking here that the person that's saying it will know. What's that all about? So maybe the pshat is that we see from here the secret of how a person can succeed in learning Torah. That Chazal tell us, mitalmidai yosem mikulam. When you teach somebody something, you can gain more from your talmidim, from your students. When you relate and you tell them over Torah, you can gain more than listening to a Rebbe. Because when you teach others, then you know it better. And that's why it says, "Ulaman tesaper ba'oznei bincha ben bincha." You should tell it over to your children and your children's children. Then, when you have to say it out, and when you have to sort of prepare, or even while you're saying it, you have a different grasp on it when you have to give it out to others. This is the secret of how to succeed in learning Torah. Get yourself a chavrusa where you're going to be actively speaking to him. Get yourself a few students, and when you relate and tell it over to the students, v'idatem, you will know better than them. Mitalmidai yosem mikulam. Maybe that's what the meaning is. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Hagada Shel Pesach. So it says like this. It says, says the pasuk, one of the psukim, it says the pasuk, the Hagada brings down Arami Oved Ovi, talking about Lavan, but then it says Vayered Mitzrayma, Yaakov Avinu went down to Mitzrayim, Vayogar Sham, and he dwelt there, B'misei Ma'ot, with few. He came down with few people, and he dwelt in Mitzrayim. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are asking a tremendous question. It should have said, Vayered Mitzrayma b'misei ma'at. He came down to Mitzrayim with only a few. And Vayogar Sham, and he lived there. Why does it say he went down to Mitzrayim and he lived there with a few? It's out of order. It should have said he went down to Mitzrayim with a few and he dwelt there. And Horav HaKodesh Reb Avram Mordechai Migur Zeichet Tzaddik Levrocha tells us a way that Klal Yisrael should conduct themselves when they go between Goyim. They shouldn't build the most beautiful homes in the world. They shouldn't ride with a Rolls Royce. They should be, the pasuk is saying, Vayered Mitzrayma, that Yaakov Avinu went down to Mitzrayim and he lived there modestly. That's the meaning of b'misei ma'at. With a little. He didn't want to show off in front of the Goyim. The lifestyle should be a modest, especially between Goyim. Modest. They shouldn't be jealous of the Jewish people, the Goyim. That's why it says. That's why it's in the right order. Vayered Mitzrayma. He went down to Mitzrayim. Yaakov Avinu. Vayogar Sham, and he lived there. How did he live there? B'misei ma'at, with little, modestly. Modestly he lived there. In Yiddish we say, "Wir sollen nicht reißen die Augen von the Goyim." The Goyim shouldn't be jealous of us. That's the lifestyle of Klal Yisrael. Okay, we're going to continue with a little bit more of Chassidic Torah, Chassidic gems on Hagada Shel Pesach. So a pasuk that the Hagada brings down, that Hashem, Vayishma Hashem es koilenu, V'anitzak el Hashem elokei v'yiseinu, we scream to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he brings a pasuk, and then it says, V'atal shavosam el ha'elokim min ha'avodah. Their screaming went up to Hashem from the avodah, from the difficult labor and torture that they were going through in Mitzrayim. Klal Yisrael screamed to Hashem because of the avodah, because of the terrible work that they had to do. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are telling us, there's sometimes that Hashem will listen to our prayers when we do it not necessarily in the formal way of davening a Shemona Esra, but if Fatal Shavosam Elhu Elokim, their screaming went up to Hashem even more min ha'avodah, even more than their Shemona Esra. They screamed and they prayed and they hoped that Hashem would help them. Fatal Shavosam, their screaming went up to Hashem even more than the formal avodah, the formal davening. Like this, it was totally from the bottom of their hearts that they were screaming for Hashem's help. We should be zeicha that Hashem should help us. We should be able to scream to Hashem even more than the Shemona Esra, to go beyond it and to scream from the bottom of our hearts. And Hashem will definitely help. Amen. Okay, we are going to continue a little bit more. So it says in the Torah, it says in Hagada, that the big machlokes of Tanoim, and this is brought in the Hagada. Machlokes between Rabbi Yossi Haglili and Rabbi Eliezer, these are all Tanoim, and Rabbi Akiva. Exactly how many makos there were in Mitzrayim and by the Yam and by the sea. Rabbi Yossi Haglili says that there were Emer Me'ata b'Mitzrayim loku eser makos v'al hayam loku chamishim makos. In Mitzrayim, the Rebbeinu Shalom brought 10 makos, and by the Red Sea, there were 50 makos, and he has psukim that prove it all. Rebbe Eliezer says no. He also has psukim. He learns a different way. Emer me'ata b'Mitzrayim loku arboim makos. In Mitzrayim, the Rebbeinu Shalom brought 40 makos, and al hayam loku mosayim makos. And by the Yam, there were 200 makos. Rabbi Akiva says that, and everything is with psukim. They bring rayas from psukim. Rabbi Akiva says, Me'ata b'Mitzrayim loku chamisha makos. In Mitzrayim, they were plagued with 50 makos, and on the sea, they were plagued with chamishim u'masayim makos, 250 makos. And the question is, why are they true? They have, that's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are saying like this, why are they trying to increase all the makos that were in Mitzrayim and all the makos that were in the Red Sea? Why are they're trying to make it more and more and more? And the simple answer, of course, is because they have rayas. They have rayas from the psukim. But the Chassidic Torah want to know better. Want to know why are they trying to increase the makos that were in Mitzrayim and the makos that were by the Yam. Comes along Hagra Vilna, Zechet Tzaddik Levracha, even though he's not a Chassidic, but he's brought down in this Chassidic Hagada, and he says, you know why? You know why they wanted to increase all the makos? Because it says in the Torah, Kol ha-machlo asher samti b'Mitzrayim lo yosem alecha. All the sicknesses and all the sicknesses that I, Hashem, placed in Mitzrayim will not come upon you. So all the sicknesses of Mitzrayim I will not bring upon you. They were trying to. That's the reason they were trying to increase more and more and more sicknesses. The more and more sicknesses there were in Mitzrayim, Hashem promises, I will not bring upon you. That's why they were trying to increase it. We should be zeicha to not have to suffer all these sicknesses and makas. Continuing with a few more Chassidic Torah, Chassidic gems. When it comes to the Seder night, which we are in, the first bracha you make is on the matzahs, moitzi matzah, and after that you make a bracha on morer. And the question is, why is it in that order? First there should be morer. Morer represents all the bitterness that we went through. First we went through bitterness. Then we had the geula, which the matzah signifies. So it should have been in a reverse order. It should have said, we should have made a bracha first on morer, and then a bracha on moitzi matzah. The Chassidic Hagada brings a something here to answer this question from the Bali Musa. Even though it's Bali Musa, but it is a Chassidic Hagada, and they bring it. The reason that we do matzah first is because when everything is going well, and Hashem helps this person, he tends to forget all the difficulties he had before. And he forgets that before Hashem brought him good things, before Hashem brought him his Yeshua, he went through tzaras. And once Hashem brings him the Yeshua, he's going to forget to say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because now everything is good. He tends to forget everything that happened before Hashem brought him his Yeshua. That's why we eat the matzah first. We eat the matzah first, then the morer. That even after the Geula, and after his Yeshua, he should always remember what he went through before. So Hashem should not have to send him again these tzaras in order for him to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's why after the Maitzi, after the Matzah, after the Geula, after the Yeshua, we still have to be aware of the Morer we went through before, so that Hashem will not have to send it to us again. We should be zeicher to this. Amen. Okay, one or two more. In the benching, when we bench at the end of the Seder, we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as we do all year. Noida l'chva Hashem Elokeinu, Rebbeinu Shalom, we thank you. Al Shin Chalta Lavisenu, you gave us such a wonderful Eretz Yisrael, Eretz Chemda Tov Rechava. We thank you that you took us out from Mitzrayim, Beis Avodim. We thank you for the Torah you gave us. We thank you for life, Al Chaim Chaim V'Chesed Shechin Antonu. We thank you, Al Achilas Mozin. We thank you for so many things. And then we say, V'al HaKoil Hashem Elokeinu Anachnu Moedim Loch. For everything that you did for us, Rebbeinu Shalom, we thank you. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah is saying, after you thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu and outline, specify all the things, Eretz Yisrael and Torah and food, then we say, Va'al HaKol, meaning not for everything, we thank you, but Al HaKol, above everything, the greatest thing in the world that we have to thank you for. There's something beyond all the things that were mentioned. And you know what that is? The chesed, the tremendous chesed, the privilege that you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, have granted to us. Sha'anachnu moedim loch, that we have the ability and schus to be able to say thank you to Rebbeinu Shalom. That is the greatest chesed, greater chesed than all the other chasodim that were mentioned. Al HaKol, above everything, is the fact, Hashem Elokeinu, Anachnu Moedim Loch, that we can say thank you to you. Okay, we'd like to conclude with the greatest Chassidic classic on the Hagada that I think. It says, Shaloi echad bilvad omar oleinu l'chalisenu. Not one alone, not one of the enemies of Klal Yisrael alone, omar oleinu l'chalisenu, rose up against us, to annihilate us. In every generation, that's the simple. The Chassidic Terelach are telling us here the reason why, what Aveira are we doing that what are we doing wrong that the enemies of Klal Yisrael want to annihilate us? There's one thing that stands out that we're doing wrong. Sheloi echad bilvod. The fact that we are not one. There's machlokes, there's too much sinna, too much hatred, too much machlokes. Shaloi echad bilvad, that's the only reason, that's the biggest, greatest reason why Klal Yisrael is being, why the enemies of Klal Yisrael are trying to destroy us in every generation. Shaloi echad, because we're not one. Shem should help us that we should realize the terrible, how terrible it is when Klal Yisrael has machlokes, they don't get along with each other, and there's sinna. The Rebbeinu Shalom should help us. We should rid ourselves of all that, and then the enemies of Klal Yisrael will not be able to touch us, will not be able to hurt us. We should be zeicher to this. Amen v'amen.